Hello everyone, welcome back for another video tutorial. For this tutorial, we are going to separate the tutorial into two parts. The first part is going to be the explanation for using regular expression for data searching. And the second part, we will do that in Node-RED environment. Now let's go ahead and having this demonstration together. For the purpose of these demonstrations, I am using Visual Studio Code. I also have created two files called regular expressions and regx cheat sheet. This file is going to be used as the data, while this file is used as your reference whenever you want to reference to the regular expression terms over here. And I'm going to also move this on the right hand side so that we have space over here. Alright, now the first thing we want to do is we want to search the data based on regular expression patterns. So actually, if you use Microsoft Word or any other editor, or every day you have already used regular expression or part of it. Okay, so you can go ahead and press Ctrl F or go to the edit and say File to look for this tool. Now, at the first time when you want to work with regular expression for searching, make sure that you click over this icon. And also, because we are going to consider both uppercase and lowercase, so we click over this icon as well. Alright, now the first thing we want to do today is let's take a look at regular expression on the right hand side of the reference. As you can see, whenever you want to search for everything, then you can use the dot, because the dot say it's anything. It will match any characters, including numbers, digit, characters, meta characters. Okay, this is called meta characters, and everything. And you can see that it is also matched white space over here as well. Now, this is what we call the dot. Okay, so whenever you want to match everything, use the dot. Now, imagine you want to match just a single digit for the number. Then we can use this reference. So we say backslash and D. As you can see, it matches all the digits in our data. Alright. Now, what else? Well, what if you just want to match just a word or single characters? So, for example, you want to search for the word data, then you say data, like this, or ABC. So this is how you search normally, right? Okay. What if I say backslash and W? So as you can see, it matches all the data that are both characters, number, but not a meta characters. As you can see, that those that doesn't match is called meta characters. Even underscore is a characters. So I'm going to move underscore right here and remove this out of these meta characters. Okay, this is the set of meta characters. We are going to talk about that later. Alright, what else? Well, this is to match all the word characters. Sometimes you also want to know, okay, if I want to match the dot only, is it possible? As you can see, the dot is the part of meta characters. If I just put the dot, as you can see, the dot match everything. So, okay, but what if I just want to match just the dot right here? Now, in order to match anything in this group, in these meta characters, you're gonna need to escape your pattern by backslash. And whenever you do this, as you can see, it matches all the dot notation inside your data. Okay, so now I can keep doing this. Let's say I want to match the bracket, like parentheses. I want to match the open parentheses. I say parentheses. As you can see, this is not possible. We have to escape them by backslash and open parentheses, and this is working. Now, if you want to keep matching things, you cannot just say, hey, single escape, is it good enough? No, it's not good enough. You need another backslash for each single character. So as you can see, we are matching to meta character here. Okay. All right. What else? What about big D? backslash and D. So whenever you have backslash D, it match all the number. It match all the digit. But whenever you say backslash and big D, it match everything except the number. So that's the reverse effect of what we have backslash D. Alright. Now what about backslash lowercase s? Let's try this. As you can see, it match all the white space including space tab, okay, not including the new line in my case. Alright. Also, whenever we talk about big S, it match everything, not this guy. So whenever you have uppercase letter for this, as you can see, this is for matching the digit of the number. This is matching everything except the digit of the number. This one is to match space, tab, and new line. If it is uppercase S, everything except white space. Okay, so that's the meaning of this. All right, what else? Now imagine that now I want to match, let's say, this email address. Okay, so what should I do? I can say andy@gmail.com directly, like this. But what if I would like to match the first and the second one at the same time? Is it possible? Yes, you can. But how do we tell this? Well, we start with the word Andy together. So now, as you can see, any part of your text over here that consists of Andy is going to match for you. Alright, but we want the email address, right? As you can see, if you put @gmail.com, it's going to match only the first pattern here, data here. We want also to match this data as well. So if we learn from here, what about if we put Andy, okay, first, and then we're gonna need to put the number either, in this case for human description, we're gonna say either Andy or Andy 14. One more time, we say either Andy or Andy 14. So that means we're gonna need to have 14 as options, as an options. Okay, so option mean it could be there or it cannot, it could be there or it doesn't need to be there. Okay, in this case you're gonna need what we call quantifier. The quantifier could be star, meaning 0 or more, meaning it could be there or it doesn't need to be there. Plus mean at least one should be there. 0 means it should be there, 0 or 1. Okay, in this case for question mark 0 or 1, it could be nothing or 1. Alright, so in this case we're gonna need 14 right here. Okay, so in our patterns we're gonna put what we call the grouping operator here. So we put parentheses and then we put 14. Okay, but whenever you put 14 right here, now the first one doesn't match, so you're gonna need to say that this is the option. When you say this is the option, as you can see, we use question mark. The question mark say that the thing before it, before them, the thing before this one, okay, next to this, as you can see, is it this parenthesis, this character, or all of this, or including all of this? Well, it's actually looking at this and they say, oh, it's going to be a group because we have parentheses. So it's going to look up the whole things right here, not including this, because they're just looking at the things that preceding them. Okay, so now you can see that we can match Andy or Andy 14s. Now the next step is we're gonna put the @ sign here, Gmail, and then .com. So that will match two of our data right here. Okay. All right. What is next? Now, as you can see, we also would like to match the third data right here. The difference between the second one and this one is that you're gonna need to have dash and one as well. Could be, in this case, could be. Okay, so if you say it could have the dash and the one, so what should we do? When we say option, then we use the question mark. So in this case, this guy could have the dash, okay, and then it could have the one. And as you can see, whenever you put, okay, let's go back to our previous example here. Okay, now we are going to add two more options, this option and this option. Now to put option, we put the character first, dash, and we say that this one is an option by putting question mark. All right, and we also say this guy is also an option, so we say 1 is the option, because whenever you use question mark, it says 0 or 1. Okay, 1 could be there or doesn't need to be there. Dash could be there or doesn't need to be there. As you can see, it matches all the 3 data. Okay, this is one example. Whenever you use star plus question mark, it means you use quantifier additional to regular expression term over here. Okay, now let's move to another example. Now imagine I want to match the following domain right here. So let me remove this first. Okay, so let me try again. So I'm trying to match the first data first, okay, step by step until we get the last one also. So we're gonna say we want to match worldwideweb.andy.com, which is perfectly fine. We can match domain name and the top domain name over here. Okay. Now imagine I want to match bosch.com and .org. What should I do? So in this case, we're gonna need another help. So it could be com, or it could be it must be com, or it must be org. Okay, so that means we cannot use question mark anymore. We're gonna need to use another pattern that we call character set. Okay, or a grouping. Now imagine that if it is just like .c or .o like this, you can use this square bracket to match character set. So you put character sets right here, and you say that inside this, the set of this could be Z or O in this case. And you can remove this. Okay. All right. So as you can see, we can match both .c and .o as well. Okay, so this is a single character for each pattern right here. Now, what if I want it to be com and org? Is it possible to use this grouping, the character set here to match multiple characters? So let's say if I say com and org, as you can see, this is not possible. It's only possible to match just a single character in the set. This is what we call the set. Okay, the set. So we cannot use square bracket. So we're gonna have to resort to the grouping operators. So now we're gonna move this into a group. And inside the group, if you want to say either com or org, you can say com and then org, and separate this not by the comma, but by vertical bar. As you can see in this case, it matched both of this. What about, is it, the order is matter? Now I have org first, followed by the com. As you can see, the order doesn't matter as long as you have all of these options in there. Okay? Alright, now we already matched two of this. The next step is we are going to match the third one as well. Now the only difference between the last one and the first two is that we don't have this World Wide Web dot at the beginning. So if you want to say that this is the option, remember what should be the option? Well, we put the grouping first. Okay, how about this? We put World Wide Web is the option of the dot as well. If you put it like this, it's not gonna work. Whenever you want to say that everything before this is an option, if you just put the dot, it's going to just say, oh, this dot is the option, right? Because this guy is before this one. So if you want to take the whole control for everything before question mark, you have to put this into the group by putting this parenthesis. And as you can see, we tell that, okay, let's look at the data. This one is going to be option. It could be there or it doesn't need to be there. Okay, so this is the one who tell option. Then followed by Andy dot, and the last things over here to tell, okay, we have a group of option. It must be one of this. Must be one of this. What about if I have something like this? Okay, I have another option here. Let's say caddy dot only. It doesn't match. What if I put something like this? Doesn't match as well. So in this case, whenever you have the dot here, okay, we're gonna have to resort to something else. Okay, you can make this as your assignment. The things that I say here is you can see that this is empty. You cannot just put vertical bar and then something empty right here to match this one. This is not possible. All right. Okay. So we have done data extraction for email address, domain name, and the top domain level. The next step is we are going to investigate on matching telephone number down here. All right, let's go ahead and do this together. Imagine we want to match the first data. It's really simple. We can copy this and put it down here. That our matching result. The problem is, if I want to match this guy as well, what should we do? Well, in this case, okay, what we are going to do is we're gonna use option, because we know that this could be there or it doesn't need to be there as well. So in between 1 and 2, we put dash and question mark. Okay. Also before 4 and after 4 and before 5, we put the dash and question mark. And as you can see, it's perfectly fine in this case. Now one more step. If you want to match the third data as well over here, then we need to use meta characters. When we talk about meta character, is this guy. Whenever you want to use parentheses, you cannot just put parentheses alone. You have to prefix it with backslash, the escape thing. So we put this one, open parentheses. But as I said, this is going to be the option. So if this is the option, can you guess what should be the control character here? Well, that's going to be quantifier. So we put question mark in this case. Okay, we do the same thing for the things after 1. So we say backslash and then we put closing parentheses and it is the option. So as you can see, whenever you did this, it's going to show you everything that you need in this case. And as the result, now you can match everything. Now one more thing. This is the fixed number. But what if I want to match dynamic number? It could be something like 0, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and like this. Our number right here is fixed. When it's fixed, what happened? When it's fixed, that means it's not useful for other number. So to make it dynamic, you cannot just use the fixed pattern 0 and 1 here. We're gonna say that, oh, if you look at this guy always start with 2 digits, okay, followed by dash and another 3 digits and 4 digits. Now, if I want to keep track of number of the digits, so this is what I can do. Now let's take a look at this first. We will come back with this option later. Now, if I want to match one single digit, I say /d. That one will match everything. But what if I want to match just a single digit? Well, we resort to use the following quantifier. So we put curly brace in between and then we put 1. So this guy match each single character for us. Now if I put 2, it's going to match 2. As you can see over here, it match each 2 of this. If I say 3, it's match 3 number. If I say 4, it's match 4 number. If I say 5, it's match 5 number together. Okay, so that means the number in the bracket here, in the parentheses here, tell how many digits that you need to match. So in our case, we want to match 2 digits first. So we say 2, and we say dash and /d, and then put 3, mean we want to match 3 more, dash as well, and 4. So as you can see right now, that this is going to match our number. So this guy is matched, this one is matched as well. But now if you want to support either that is the option or not, as you can see, the dash become option by putting question mark the dash become put option, put question mark. One more thing, we want to match this as well, so that parenthesis is the option. So we say, hey, backslash open parenthesis, and it's the option. So put it like this. And after the number, the first two digits, we see that this could be an option as well. So we say backslash and then closing parenthesis and question mark. That will match everything that we need. Now the only problem is, what if, okay, we want this one show us that, okay, we need 2 digits followed by 3s and 4, but what if I want to also have 3 in front? So instead of fix just the 2, then we're gonna need to go one more and using a different quantifier. So in this case, it could start with just 2 number or 3 number. So instead of just 2, we say comma and 3. And as you can see, this one match both the pattern that start with 2 digits and the pattern that start with 3 digits. So when we say 2 mean at least 2 number, 2 digit, and 3 mean at most. Now if you try to match this, see if this is possible. 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now as you can see that this is become impossible because it doesn't match the first character here. Now if you guess, if you want to also match that 4 as well, then you're gonna need to turn this into number 4, and that will match your result. Alright, now we have finished, I think, almost, except for matching anything not B, okay, here. So we're gonna look at this as well. So okay, let's take a look at how do we match Jason and Mason, or not Mason. Now if I say everything, so it's going to be backslash W followed by A, S, O, and N. Imagine we have Jason, Mason, and let's say BC Jason, like this. But I do not want to include Masons. I want to take the Mason off the chart. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, thing is that we are going to not include M at the beginning. How do we tell that not include M at the beginning? Is to use this notation. So in this case, instead of backslash W, we're gonna put this bracket, and we're gonna say that everything not including the M. As you can see, now it matched everything that have these patterns, not M, but everything else like JC and followed by ASON. What about one ASON matching? Yeah, see? So that's the result. Now, is it possible to combine this into, let's say we don't want to match like DASON. Now, if I put D here, as you can see, this guy will not include both M and D at the beginning. So this is another technique that we use to, you know, take the character, the set of character that you don't want to put it in to the patterns. All right. Okay, there is a set of assignment down here. I like you to use regular expression pattern to extract those different patterns to see if you can make this happen together. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on part number 2.